Welcome to the Cover 4 podcast. I'm Nolan Kangas. That's Jeff Wall. That's Luca Moya. No Bradshaw yet again. That is okay. We can just assume which teams he would probably pick.
He's a healthy scratch.
He's a healthy scratch. This is a better career regardless. So it doesn't really matter too much. Just teasing Bradshaw. I know you're going to be editing this in a little bit anyway. We're recording this as the Monday Nighters going on. Cowboys are blowing the doors off of the Eagles, so that should make some of these game picks a little bit easier for us. So we're going to go through every single game. Let's start with the 1 o'clock, guys. This one's going to suck. Giants Saints. I'll be quick. I'm going to go Saints. Giants are bad. Jameis Winston has some miracle throws each week. I will say, though, stop running Taysom Hill. I fucking hate it. It sucks.
Agreed.
But yeah, I'm going to take Saints. I think the spread's about 8.5. Doesn't matter. We'll just take our winners in this one. So I'll go Saints. Jeff, which way are you going?
Yeah, Saints easy. I wonder how long Joe Judge is going to have a job, honestly. I really do.
Yeah, I'm going Saints as well. Daniel Jones might be time to move on after this year.
This one, I do agree with that statement as well. Chiefs Eagles should be another easy one. Eagles, I thought we would have expected something better from them tonight. That's not the case. Chiefs, they're 1-2. I think there's no shot in hell they go to 1-3. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. Luca, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. Eagles don't look too good today. Jalen Hurts, that offensive line, not doing a great job. Chiefs defense hasn't looked the greatest, but I think they'll do enough. I'm going to get the Chiefs on this one.
I actually think it'll be a little bit closer just because, as we said in the last episode, that defense is horrible. It is awful. Like, Kansas City Chiefs defense is got to be like bottom 10. It has to be bottom 10 this year. Like, it is so horrifically bad. The only way they can win is if the other team is just like, all right, pack it in. Patrick Mahomes scoring 50 points. So yeah, I will still go with Kansas City, but I think it'll be a little bit closer.
This one's going to be a blowout as well. I will eat crow. I did say at the beginning of this season, and I've been on this train, I've said Josh Allen is going to, regress a little bit. We saw that in the first 2 weeks. Wasn't too impressive. Under 60% completion percentage, throwing some, he was just a little wild in the first 2 weeks. He kicked butt this past week. Just probably the best player from this week. He was fantastic. He gets the Texans this time around. So I'm going to go Bills. Not even close. Jeff?
Yeah, I think that this game won't be close, but I'm still sticking with it, Nolan. I still think Josh Allen is going to regress a little bit. I think he's had some good games against some very, good, reputable defenses, but no, I'm not a believer in Josh Allen. Okay. So the quarterback, not the edge rusher. Obviously we're talking about the Bills.
I'm not shuffling on, I'm going to stay on my take. He's not going to be in the MVP race. I will say that, but yeah, he had a great performance this past week. He kicked butt. Luca, you're going Bills, of course.
Yeah, they're my survivor pick, so they better win this week. So I got Buffalo.
Alrighty, that leads me to what I think of the 1 o'clock games will probably be the best one. That's going to be Vikings-Browns. Vikings coming off a win. Browns coming off a dismantling of Jeff's Bears. I'm going to go Browns in this one, though. I just think the way that defensive line played for the Browns the other day, Vikings O-line, not so much. If Dalvin Cook is out again, yes, Alexander Mattison was fine. Seahawks defense sucks. Hopefully it's close, but I'll go Browns on this one. They just look like one of the top 5 teams in football. Luca, Browns or Vikings?
Yep, I got Browns too. Kevin Stefanski's return. No Dalvin Cook. That defensive line is going to feast on Kirk Cousins. Sorry, Nolan.
I will say Kirk has looked good.
He has. 8
touchdowns, 0 picks. He was fantastic.
MVP, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
You never know. I have that bet still placed.
Yeah, you do.
51-1 odds.
There we go.
Jeff, Vikings or Browns?
I'll go Browns. Maybe Kevin Stefanski knows some tendencies of the former quarterback he used to coach, which I think is always a really important, the subtle thing. Obviously, talent is going to win out. And I think the Vikings also have a pretty talented wide receiver group. I think, they just still have some smart coaching. They roll out their quarterback. They move the pocket, with their fairly mobile quarterback when their protection isn't the best. It's smart thinking. Some other NFC North teams might want to pick up on that. But yeah, I'll go with the Browns. But like you said, I think Kirk's been really good. He's been pretty awesome. Maybe that glass thing that he had in his locker room or something's helping out. Maybe he's actually got on the field and we just can't see it or something. That's probably helped him out too.
You mentioned talented receivers in Minnesota. There's a few good ones in Cleveland as well. Odell Beckham's back. Jarvis Landry, hopefully he returns. Bashad Breeland has been the worst corner in all of football. I haven't talked about PFF grades in the last 2 episodes, but he's ranked 103rd out of 103 corners. So Odell, Jarvis Landry, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz, doesn't matter. Whoever's on him, he's going to cook him because Breeland sucks. That was harsh. Let's move on. Panthers, Cowboys. This could be a fun one. Panthers are undefeated. Cowboys look really good on both sides of the ball against the Eagles in this game that they're playing on Monday night. I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one, and I don't feel confident in that decision. Carolina's defense looks pretty good. J.C. Horn not going to be playing, of course, the broken foot. CMC's not going to be playing in this one. Chuba Hubbard hasn't looked great. I'll say Cowboys. Yeah, Jeff, what about you?
This is actually a very tough one. I think with J.C. Horn, I think he's out. He's got to be out, right? He's got a broken foot. Yeah, so he's out. That does give me some pause for concern there, and obviously, cause for concern. And I do think C.J. Henderson, maybe he turns out really good, or he could be really bad. He might, not fully know the defense. But I'm sure he'll be okay. I actually feel like he might have a, kind of a fresh start. It'll be really good for him. I kind of like the Carolina offense. I really like what they're doing. So I'll go with Carolina on this one.
Ooh, I like it. DJ Moore has been a stud this season. Luca, which way are you going?
Yeah, the Panthers have been one of the more fun teams to start the season, I think. I'm still going to lean the Cowboys. No J.C. Horn. Cowboys got a really good offense, man. They got a lot of good receivers. And I think Dak's going to abuse that. I do think it's going to be a close game. Carolina's defense has been a little bit better, I think, personally, than the Cowboys, but I trust in Dak a little bit more.
I'm with you there. Let's go Colts Dolphins. Again, it might be Jacoby Brissett against Carson Wentz. That's not fun.
No.
I'm going to go Colts. I don't feel confident in that either. I'm going to go Colts getting their first win of the season. Dolphins, I thought they would take a leap this year. Obviously, it doesn't help when Tua has been injured, but I just haven't seen something that's impressed me much at all. They got off to a good start last week against the Raiders and ended up blowing it, and it goes to overtime with Daniel Carlson sealing it. But I'll go Colts get their first one of the season. Luca?
I agree. I got the Colts. Miami's offense, to me, doesn't really get me jumping out of my seat, per se. A little cliche there. So I'm going to go Colts. We talked about it a little bit, me and Jeff and you, actually, after the last episode. Colts have been in a lot of tight competitive games, got a hard schedule, so they've played some good teams so far. I think they'll get their first win as well.
Jeff?
Yeah, something's got to give, man. They've been way too close and personally way too good, just a little, barely unlucky, honestly. And I don't even think, Carson Wentz out there, with 2 walking boots and everything, showing up to Ragers. But I think something's got to give, man. They're too good. They're too talented. They're too well coached. I think they're just going to pull this one out. And obviously, I think Jacoby Brissett played a little bit over what he actually is capable of doing in that last game. So, yeah, I got to go with the Colts.
I will say, I think, Luca, you've talked about the Miami's offense now for the second episode. Dude, they needed a really good OC. If they could get pick somebody from college, or even if it's anybody in the NFL who's got, good offensive system going, because Brian Flores is fantastic and he seems like a great leader and he knows what he's doing for defense. They need something fun in the offense, and it just seems very blah.
Yeah, lots of good players too. So
yeah, Will Fuller back, and he had some nice plays in that game. Titans Jets. Jets have been horrible. Zach Wilson has been horrible. The O-line has been horrible. The wide receivers have been horrible. Elijah Moore, offensive rookie of the year pick for me, looks like crap. So I'll take that one on the chin. Titans kind of bouncing back. Derrick Henry still doing his thing. Julio, AJ Brown has been kind of this season. So hopefully I think I said we have to slow down the hype on him at the beginning of the year. He's still very good, but Julio's been pretty, fine. But regardless, Titans are going to win this game. Jets are just too bad right now. Jeff, I'm assuming Titans.
Yeah, and I hope that finally, because I think I picked AJ Brown to win Offensive Player of the Year. I really hope that this is the game he can finally break out. I mean, and I hope it's not just like one of those one-off games where he goes for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns and then just does nothing the rest of the season. Yeah, he really does need to get going. I think for this offense to generally even just be a tad bit better, right? I think they are kind of still struggling overall. They're good. They're good. I think they'll make the playoffs again, but they do need AJ Brown to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he get hurt last game? I'm pretty sure he had a hamstring injury.
I think he was still a sluggish start, and then he. Well, if you look at the yardage, what does he have this season? Under 150 yards, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it hasn't really been, and even Julio too. Like Julio hasn't been
very amazing.
No, hasn't been the duo I guess everyone thought. But I'm still gonna take Tennessee just because the Jets are awful, and every single year they're awful. So I'm going with Tennessee.
All righty. One team actually, they just lost on that game-winning field goal by the record game-winning field goal by Justin Tucker. The other team got their asses pumped. Bears, Lions. I'll start with you, Jeff. I'll go quick. I'll say Lions. I'm sorry. They have some fight right now, and I think everybody in the world is mad at Matt Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt Nagy's very mad at Matt Nagy as well. I think he didn't know what happened there. I don't think anybody knows what happened there. That was pretty goddamn horrible. But it was so bad that even despite Sean Desai coaching the defense very, very well, have to give credit to him. If they don't make changes, they're going to lose that game. And after two performances like that compounded together, I think you got to fire Matt Nagy. Honestly, I really think you do at that point.
So are you going Bears or are you going Lions? Jeff, you don't know which way?
Oh, sorry. I'll go Lions. Yeah, I have to go.
Oh, wow, going against his team. I'm going Lions too. Lions are actually competitive. Like they're actually better than a lot of people thought, and they just make too many mistakes, like a lot of poor teams do. So if they can clean that up a bit, they can be a little bit competitive this year. But Chicago, I didn't like what I saw from them. Sorry, Jeff. So I'm going Detroit as well.
It's fair enough.
This game is the story of one team who had so much hype coming in on one side of the ball, and they looked like shit. And the next game is another team that had so much hype on the other side of the ball offensively, and they look like shit. So Atlanta, Washington. Atlanta's offense is a nightmare. And Washington, who is supposed to be a top 5 defense, can't stop a nosebleed. Like, it's embarrassing. I'm still going to lean Washington in this one, just because Atlanta's defense is pretty bad, and I hope Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin get a ton of touches in this game. I don't know how Washington has just gotten beaten up because you have the horses to just honestly, you can just rush 4 and should be able to get after the quarterback, and they can't do anything right now. But I'll stick with Washington. I know Bradshaw's not going to want to hear that. Jeff, which way are you going?
It's crazy too, because they even made Justin Herbert look good for a minute there. But yeah, I'll go with Washington too.
I'm going Washington also. I agree with the statement, Nolan. I think they got to give some more touches. He had 75 of his, I believe it was like 90 yards that he had total or something like that. 75 on one play. So it's good, big play potential, but got to get him a little bit more involved or change some things around a little bit.
All righty. So that's all the 1 o'clock games. Now we get some fun competitive games and, the 4 o'clock, the later afternoon window. NFC West battles. So we got Cardinals, Rams. Both teams are undefeated. Cardinals have some holes. I think their defense has been better. Kyler Murray still makes a lot of bad decisions, with turnovers. He's still fantastic. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm still going to take the Rams, though, just because we all kind of agree Rams are one of the best teams in football, if not the best. I just think that the Rams are going to win this one. I wouldn't be surprised if it's by 2 scores, to be honest. Luka, Rams, Cardinals, where are you going?
Yeah, Rams look really good. I just feel like, this is one of those games. I think the Cardinals are going to win this one just because the Rams, big win last week. Everyone's talking big about them. And Kyler Murray going to come into SoFi. Game's on turf, so there's no weather interference here. It's a strict football game between 2 really good teams. I think Arizona could squeak out the upset. I think they're going to split regardless this season, barring any crazy injuries. So I think this one, Arizona just gets a quick jump on them early in the year.
Jeff?
Yeah. What's cool too? DeAndre Hopkins versus Jalen Ramsey. I'm assuming he's going to follow him around. Those two are actually a pretty even matchup. I think like a lot of times it's not like there's a lot between them. This is a tough one to pick, to be honest with you, because I think of it this way, right? Like the Cardinals defense is amazing. I really love the Cardinals defense. I said that a bunch, but if there's any team and coach that can beat them, it's definitely the Rams. And then, their defense is so good, but like, is Kyler Murray that kind of guy that can unlock it? Can he be the key to disrupting them? Like, I don't think either team is really going to blow the other one out here. Like, if I had to guess, I'd go with like the same with Nolan and pick the Rams because we're just so high on them. But it's tough. I do think though that the Rams defense is just too good. It's too well coached. And I think on the other side, Cardinals are really relying on talent and their coach is horrible. I also think that this, with Matthew Stafford going up against Kyler Murray, my prediction would be that Kyler Murray's MVP campaign kind of ends here if he plays kind of poorly.
I think the only thing that scares me of Arizona, and they've been better, and Kyler is maybe in that MVP conversation still, maybe in the 5-6 range. We'll see when I release mine, tomorrow. I just think the defense that they've played so far scare me. Tennessee sucks, right? Vikings, their defense sucks. And then you get a Jacksonville defense that their defense sucks. And then you're going to go and face Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams, and those boys. It's going to be a tricky one. But I did like your take, Luca, that, they're coming off a high of beating reigning champs. So maybe we'll see if that happens. Sticking in the NFC West, Seahawks 49ers. This is a classic rivalry. They had so many good games, in the past, decade or so, but I'll go 49ers. Seahawks defense is just so bad. And the 49ers, I just think they always play the Seahawks tough. I'd like to see more Trey Lance. I've said that, but I'll go Niners in a close one. Jeff, which way are you going?
This is tough because I think Russell Wilson and this passing attack with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, they can exploit the San Francisco defense. But at the same time, I also think that their defense is also pretty exploitable. And it also, unfortunately, might keep Jimmy Graham in that starting position a bit longer, and we won't see Trey Lance for a bit. And also, I think the Niners, they just got too many weapons to be held back this long. We saw George Kittle come back. I'll go with Niners.
Yep. Deebo Samuel, you speak of weapons. I love his game, and
so fun to watch.
I know.
Yeah,
both those guys, like him and Kittle, when they catch the ball, they just want to hit you in the mouth, and I love it. Luca, Niners or Seahawks?
I'm gonna go Seahawks. Seattle always plays up. I feel like Seattle is one of those teams that plays up to their opponent and then down to like the pretty poor opponent. Not trying to take a shot at Minnesota or anything.
I know, I heard it.
Yeah, but these games are really close, and it's weird. Usually the road team wins. So Seattle's on the road, so I got Russell Wilson coming out with a tight win. San Fran probably going to lose at the buzzer again, knowing how these games go.
I'm not going to say it's a must-win for Seattle either because it's so early in the season. But if they go to 1-3,
yeah,
and you're in that division with those guys, it's tricky. That is really tricky. This game's going to suck. Steelers, Packers. Packers look good. Steelers and Big Ben look horrible. Big Ben, it was bad, like bad. I know Steven Ruiz put out the tweet. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was they put old clown circus music in black and white footage to Big Ben throwing the ball. It was good. Well, it wasn't good. Like it was funny. The throwing was horrendous. I'm gonna take Packers. Steelers are just it's a mess.
Do you guys see that video where Ben just threw it and fell?
Yeah.
Just randomly. I was like, what happened there?
gotta love the 4th and 10 screen to Najee Harris too. That's a pretty play as well. This is his last year. It has to be, and I think the team's gonna say thanks for everything you did, but you're done. Like it's not good enough. So
probably should have said that last year. No, too.
Agreed. I'll say Packers. Luca, Packers.
Yeah, Packers as well. The offense there's no way, in my opinion, that the Steelers offense can be able to stay with the Packers offense. Like they're that bad, and it's so boring to watch too. Oh, yeah. Like, it's really, really boring. And poor Najee Harris too. Like get taken in the first round with no offensive line. What do you think's gonna happen?
I saw Najee Harris. 70% of his carries, he's been hit behind the line of scrimmage. 70%. They should have gone O-line. Jeff, you're going Packers?
Yeah, I feel bad for Najee Harris, man. Seems like the nicest dude.
Yeah.
That really is too bad. Yeah, Big Ben, get him out of here. I hate that guy. He makes me miserable, and I hate him. So get him out of here. He's brutal. The defense obviously is pretty good, but they've still let up some points this year. Looks like my prediction for Mike Tomlin getting his first losing season is going to come true. And I'm not happy to say that. I love Mike Tomlin, man, but yeah, I think they're going to get carved up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You think about it. Like that seemed like, oh, they're going to beat Cincinnati. They usually always beat Cincinnati, and Burrow and Jamar Chase cooked them up. But yeah, that's not going to be a fun game. Ravens, Broncos. Ravens going to Mile High. Broncos are undefeated. Ravens, they've got all these late, last second crazy games. Did it again last week with Justin Tucker's, was it 66 yards? I think it was
66 yards.
66-yarder. Broncos have had the easiest schedule in football, I believe.
Yeah, they have.
And I like their offense. Now they're missing KJ Hamler, who tore his ACL, which is unfortunate. Still without Jerry Jeudy. So it's going to be the Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick show. They still got a decent running back tandem, right? Javonte Williams scored his first touchdown. Melvin Gordon's doing his thing. The O-line has improved. The defense is still sick. I don't know. I just think Baltimore, Lamar looked damn good against the Lions, and Hollywood Brown kept letting them down, which sucked. But I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. I just can't see the Broncos. I know it's Mile High, and I know the Broncos are looking decent. I can't see them beating Baltimore in this spot when they've faced a few bad opponents in a row. Jeff, Ravens or Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, unless Hollywood Brown just keeps dropping the ball like he thinks that's his job or something, it's tough to see. Like, it's just Lamar Jackson is a kind of guy who can make that difference. And I just think, despite how good Broncos look, like you said, their schedule's been so weak, and also the Ravens defense is still really good. So I think that will also help things out. I think they'll eke out a win though. Again, I think it's going to be close. I think both teams are going to struggle because Hollywood Brown sucks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I do think if Denver had, like, all their pieces on offense, I think I would maybe lean towards Denver just because they're at home. But, I mean, with KJ Hamler missing, Judy out, how much do I trust Teddy Bridgewater to get it done? I think Lamar Jackson is just clearly better than the two QBs, so that's why I'm going to go with the Ravens. But it's going to be a closer game than people realize. I think the opening line's 1.5. So
I think it's 1.5 in favor of Denver, too.
Yeah, of Denver. Yes, it is. So that Mile High, I guess that's probably why.
I know where I'm placing my money.
Yeah.
All righty, Luca. This is going to
Here we go.
The banger.
This is the one.
Tom comes back. All right. So Buccaneers, Patriots. That is the Sunday night football contest. Bucs obviously heavy favorites.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Buccaneers. But I'll give you the floor. What do you think is going to happen in this contest?
Yeah. Well, it's going to pull on my heartstrings a little bit on Sunday night. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think Brady's going to pump us. I'm going to be completely honest. I think the Bucs are going to destroy us. And I really think, I'm not going to say they look past the Rams, but I think now, like, this game's over. I don't think they're that too upset about it because this game means more, I think, to Tom Brady than it does to Bill Belichick. Like, Bill Belichick's won Super Bowls, I think, before with the Giants as a defensive coordinator, but Brady now has a chance. He just wants to go in there and he just wants to kick his ass. Like, that's all he wants to do because you talk about Belichick and the reason Brady wins is because, Belichick has this great defense and he's all that. Brady's going to go in there and probably drop 30. And poor Mac Jones because, he's under the light of Tom Brady, even in his return when he's on the other team. So Bucs are probably going to stomp on the Patriots. Pats are going to go to 1-3, and I'm going to be there not knowing if I want to smile after he hits Gronk. I know they're going to make it their mission, Brady to Gronk touchdown. Like, they're going to make it their mission to have at least one on Sunday night.
Yeah, it's not. I will ask, do you think, obviously they're going to recognize Brady. They're going to do some big whole massive thing. Do you think he cries?
Who cries?
Brady.
Do I think he cries?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's going to set the record. He's going to set the record, I think, the most passing yards in NFL history. I think he's on pace to break it.
Oh.
This Sunday.
Well, I guess he had 400. Yeah, you're right.
So he's going to break the record there. So that just tops it off for me, boys. I'm going to cry. I know that for sure. But I think Tom Brady, I think he will get a little bit emotional.
He's an emotional guy. I think he's emotional.
He will get emotional. Belichick's going to be straight face, like, okay, let's get the game going here. Like he's just all business, you know. He's not going to make anything of it.
I actually think he's going to smile. I think he's going to just like cover.
I think he's gonna a little smirk on the sideline when they're down 35-0.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
No, probably not then. Probably not then. Like, or he'll be like joking. He'll be in that kind of mood. Like he'll like, oh, there's old Tom just beating us up. There we go.
Tom's just an athletic or intelligent football player. He did a lot of good things for us.
He's one of the best.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Obviously, Tom Brady coming off of a loss. This is one he really wants, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, I'm assuming you're going to go Tampa as well.
Yeah, I thought for a minute, like, you know, like I was saying earlier, like, you know, tendencies with quarterbacks and who would be better to figure that out than Bill Belichick. And part of me, I'm not ruling that out, like to make it a little bit difficult on him. But the Bucs offense is just too stacked, man. And Gronk's going to be there. Like, he's fine. He probably just got the wind knocked out of him sort of thing. Probably just pinched a nerve or whatever. But he'll be there. And I think this team's just – the talent gap's too big, man. I think they're both going to be motivated, though, to be honest, Luke. I think Bill Belichick doesn't want to get outclassed by him.
No. He's gonna disguise a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I think – like if they had like an equal roster, let's just say, maybe I lean Belichick just because he's at home. But I mean, with even you have to take into consideration like this roster. I can't see Mac Jones going toe to toe with Tom Brady.
It would be tough. It would be tough for sure.
This Bucs defense again is going to cause some issues. And I will say, you're talking about Gronk too. Bucs were missing an AB. Antonio Brown was out last week, right? So he should be off of the COVID list this time around.
Yep, another former Patriot. There you go. For 1 week, but
still. So that's going to be a hell of a game and a fun one for sure. Very, very cool return of Tom Brady. Let's go to Monday night. You got the undefeated Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers coming off a massive win against the Chiefs. I'm going to go with my boy. I'm going to go Herbert and the Chargers. You know, they're at home. The Raiders have squeaked out a couple victories here. And I will say the Raiders defense does look better than advertised. Max Crosby's having a hell of a year. Yannick Ngakoue's having a good year. Casey Hayward, how on earth he was cut. And now he's just balling right now for the Raiders. And he's been fantastic. Yeah. He's always been a good corner too. So it doesn't make sense why people just gave up on him. But this offense and Brandon Staley and the defense is fantastic too. I'm going to go Chargers. I think it's going to be a fun, close game, but yeah, I'll just go with LAC. Jeff, where are you sitting on this one?
There is no reason why you shouldn't be picking the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't see it. I think the Raiders have most definitely, you know, overachieved, at least in wins. I think overall, I think they've been playing pretty well. Derek Carr, man, I think he's opened it up a little bit. He's showing what he's made of, but there's no reason. I think there's no reason to do that. Chargers are one of the best teams in the NFL, and that quarterback is decent. So, you know, I
mean, something nice, Jeff.
He's a good nice quarterback. Right now. He, as everyone has noted, he has a big arm. He is athletic. He fits some. He actually does have some nice throws where it's like, oh, you got some promise, kid, and you know, and that's it. And he everything he does looks pretty. That's.
Is he accurate. A top 10 QB to you? Would you go that far?
No, I wouldn't put him top 10. I could definitely think of 10.
We need if we have more time in another episode, I would really like to know the 10 guys ahead of him. Like
he's top 5 right now. Right now, today's NFL, he's top 5 in my opinion.
Just puke in my mouth.
Well, I'm going the Chargers too because of him, and because they're at home. It's going to be a good game though. But
I will say here. I'll give you here's the compliment. Justin Herbert, out of all the guys within his like age range class, like I'll exclude Josh Allen just because of where he's at. He is by far the most consistent. He doesn't really have any like dips. Like he doesn't have any like really bad games. He has like very consistently solid to very good games. So
is Justin Herbert better than Josh Allen in your opinion?
No, not right now at least.
Okay, interesting.
I probably say Josh Allen right now is better. Yeah. I think this season is going to kind of show. Like I'm
and he's got a lot of really good weapons. I agree. Justin has tons of great weapons.
Josh Allen did have an all-pro receiver as well, and 2 all-pros because technically Cole Beasley was an all-pro second team. But I will say this season, I think Herbert finishes the year with better numbers all over the board. I think better completion percentage, more yards, more touchdowns,
And less interceptions.
less picks. I don't know. I'm just high on him. So we'll see what happens. But that's going to be the Monday Nighter. That's going to be a hell of a game. Dude, I'm just going to sit my butt from 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock because there's some dandies in those windows.
Yeah.
That's going to do it, though. Cover 4 podcast. That is the preview for week 4. We're missing Bradshaw. Hopefully,
cover 3 now. Sorry, Brad. We're changing the scheme right now. It's got to be a cover 3.
Switching it up on him. That's going to do it, guys. Enjoy the episodes. Make sure to like, follow, share. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you want to get your pods. I guess it's Apple Pods, not Apple Music. That's going to do it. That's Jeff. That's Luca. I'm Nolan. We'll see you soon.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Lingo Sports and Lingo News for a whole lot more just like this.